On the 18th of March 2023, for this governorship election, when they do so, now over 20 people now die for this election. Thugs and APC supporters, they begin to take laws into their hands. We see APC supporters for many places for Lagos, where they come out, they ring bell for streets, for road, for every area, for every corner. They tell people, say, if they no vote for APC, may they stay their house. We see so many attacks against Labour Party voters. We see a lot of injured people because of, say, they want to vote for their governor. We see so many talks of APC supporters whether they commit crimes against humanity. This 2023 election, now the most violent and unlawful election for Nigeria history. And governor-elect, they celebrate victory. After you can't see the governor of those people where they say attack. When I just watch these two videos, where T-Mac and Labour Party spokesman talk.
In my area, I built my house in '82 in Okota, Ago, and I am quite prominent there. I have a beautiful place. In my street, there's a polling booth, and I make sure everybody's comfortable. We have gates right and left, so my street was okay. Presidential election, we had in my street 186 votes for Labour, and I think 16 or 17 for APC. And it was all over Okota, Ago the same. Labour 300–400% more. Now, I had a phone call last week Wednesday by a gentleman who said, T-Mac, please, I want you to make sure you have security in your area, because I just attended a meeting at the Mushin local government. There were APC top people there, there were ballets, kings, and it was decided that we're going to disturb Okota Ago Palace Way to Festag, because we are not pleased to see that 80–90% of that area voted Labour. So I asked him and say, what do you suggest? He said, please inform the police, inform Labour, you must tighten up the security. Also, he said, I have just seen the result sheets of the election. I said, how is that possible? How are we going to accept? I said, well, they said if we don't like it, we can go to court. And he told me something like that area will have 47–48,000 APC voters, maybe 24,000 for Labour. And that's what I saw on your television yesterday. But in actual fact, we were prepared. So we collected the pink sheet of every polling station in the area to see that everywhere Labour was 300–400% more than APC. So now to declare those numbers, to me, is very fraudulent. But let me go back to the violence. In my street, they voted nicely. I quickly went back inside my house, and I was called out, Tima, come out. In the next street, Vaidiakande, they are beating people up, they are destroying the booths. So I love dogs. I took 2 boys, and with 8 dogs, big ones, I rushed down next street, and people all scattered when they saw me. About 30–40 Akberos ran away. They threw sticks, they threw bottles at me and my boys. One of my boys got injured face and back, and we chased them to Taiwo Street up into the swamp area. I was so angry. Later on I thought, that was risky what I did. But when you're angry, you don't give a damn. And people were there dispersing. Now what I experienced in the last election was people were scared to come out because they heard there's troubles everywhere. Afterwards, I took my time. I went to different areas. I saw the carnage. Windows of houses smashed, boots on the floor in the gutter. I will supply you with some of the videos. People cut and injured. Why do we need a war where this should be a peaceful election? You are bringing some of the videos to your television station, but the amount of injured people which went to the hospital next day, we are still collecting all that information.
So you're saying the numbers that have emerged from Saturday is underreported. as you have seen even more than the figures that you've seen.
Of course.
On the news.
And when the pink sheets are being taken to court and we can prove actually the right numbers, you will see that I'm right.
He never finish. Oh, this one is one part of the video. This one where T-Mark talk about everything. Now listen to the one where Labour Party spokesman talk.
What you stated gone beyond the conspiracy against the Labour Party is against the state itself. The conspiracy is against the Nigerian state and its people. A group of people have decided to choreograph themselves into a block, prepare a script, pre-election, during election, and post-election. What you are seeing at the moment now has not stopped yet because they have already orchestrated their plans to execute this particular heinous crime against the Nigerian state, which of course we are seeing unfolding gradually. Let me start with the issue of the pre-election. Pre-election, there are investments already being made. This is not a blunt allegation. There are investments being made involving the security agency, involving the INEC itself, involving some politicians, and at the same time, some gullible electorate. That was the pre-planned election. During the election, it was executed by intimidation, harassment, killing and maiming, and disdain that which they held the Nigerian people. No wonder what you saw in the election result uploading, where 3 elections took place. The Federal House of Reps, the Senate, and then the presidential election. Now you can upload the result of the Federal House of Representatives, and you can upload the result of the Senate, and you cannot upload the result of the presidential election. This was a blunt, open murder against the interests of the Nigerian state, instituted by a group of people looking at you. Look, we have done what we want to do. You can go to anywhere you're going to go to. We are not perturbed. We are not disturbed at all. And most disturbing, we have a situation in our hands where agitation are being made by different groups of people and different tribes, rightfully or arguably so. For me, it has been the interest of building a nation that all of us has a fair, equity, and justice to exalt what will come as our union. And that is the reason why, long even before Peter Gregory Obi ran for election as a presidential candidate, Yunus Atonko and some other people in the northern part of this country endorsed the candidate of an Igbo extraction. Not because of the ethnic group, but because we feel that it is the right time to unite this country. And don't forget, we have a similar situation where we have MKO Abiola, a person of a Yoruba extraction, who ran for election, and there's a cabal who denied that particular person from being the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We lost a lot of lives, and that was the beginning of the OPC. And when we had that particular situation, it was just 8 years. If Abiola had ruled this country, he would have long forgotten that he has ruled this country. But it was denied. But can you imagine the quantum of the people that lost their lives at that particular point in time? I grew up in Idiaraba. The house I grew up in Lagos up till now is still standing there, destroyed. I was there some couple of days ago. That repair has not even been made. So that is to tell you the kind of level of destruction that was done in that year. Unfortunately, those who are actually organizing this particular heinous crime against the Nigerian state do not know the consequence of the result of what they are doing. What they are interested in is manipulating the minds of the Nigerian people, telling them that no, it's a game of numbers, and then we have the numbers, we have the power, we have the money, we have already manipulated the system. You can go to court and then nothing will happen. That is a dangerous perception that nothing will happen. Because as we speak now, the Nigerian people, especially the Nigerian youth, who we have completely annihilated and forgotten for a point in time, but they have come back believing in the system, a rule and regulation that's already been imbibed and instituted by the electoral umpire, which of course ab initio was already been orchestrated by this pre-election strategy that was being done by this particular group of people. But the danger here is that they don't even know exactly what may result to. Today, we have seen Nigerians destroying their passports. we are seeing Nigerians already, especially the youth, preparing to go onto the streets. Whether we try to stop them or not, they are ready to go all the hope because they have lost hope. The hope that was already being built in them has been lost. Now, that was the resultant of what you saw in the state assembly and the governorship election. People who believe that the IRF and the beavers and all of those ones will work. And let me make a clarification here. Many people are saying that probably the beavers did not work. No, the beavers worked. What was done was that there's a fraudulent criminal intention by some group of people who stopped it from doing what it's supposed to do. It wasn't as if the beavers did not work. But some people criminally, intentionally and openly did that to hurt the Nigerian people. And then you beat a child and you are saying that you should not cry. It is completely wrong. So the post-election is what we are here now. After both the presidential election and the state assembly and the governorship election. As we speak, some people are already on the street. Yes, you may say our presidential candidate has made it very clear that we are not violent. We want to make sure that we stop people from going onto the streets. But the right of the person who you have annihilated and stopped and intimidated and harassed and insulted with a lot of disdain, with a lot of decay in the minds of the Nigerian people, and you're expecting them not to say anything? Are you being fair to yourself? So now, the onus now lies on the judiciary. That is the last hope. Of course, these are also part of the orchestrated plan. Because already, they are already assumed that there are people, even though we believe in the judiciary, and we want to appeal to our judicial leaders. This is the time in which to save this country. We have tried in our own best as a people. We have already given you a political party. We have given you a quality, an unquantifiable character of a person. Both of them are qualified to lead this country and change it from a docile country to a progressive country. And that is Peter Obi and Deti Baba Ahmed. We have done our best as a group of politicians who believe in the system. Look at our track records. We've been there for years. Ruben Bati, you can attest to it. And we've been consistent. Now, here, the people have also come into this particular narrative. They've agreed that, look, you have come out with some of the best. Let us go in and vote. They came out and